Today has been like such an interesting day for the fact that the energy has been so negative in the city today. So I'm doing a very special interview on myself today in which I have prepared the questions, ahead of the time. But what I need you all to bear witness to at this moment are the distractions. The people right around in such dire and desperate need of attention that it is the devil in that energy. And so I made it a particular point that no matter what was going on tonight, how many times I have to stop, that I'm going to get through this interview. So bear with me. I hope you guys are able to give it the undivided attention it's deserving of. I'll tie another point into all of this after. So how has my general outlook on life changed since relocating to the city? Before I got to the city, I was definitely more gullible, more naive, more willing and witting to accept things at face value and whatever it appeared, never really questioning why or what was behind sometimes, whether that was something that you were told or shown. The city changed me in that sense, that I'm never so readily ready to just believe the first thing. I always have a secondary thought, maybe a third thought, and so it's made me more insightful and more thoughtful beyond appearances and words. The next question is, what are some of the struggles you've experienced in New York versus Florida? Surprisingly, a lot of the struggles are similar, but that, like anything, there are levels to it. And so in Florida, I always had a hard time like solidifying, not even so much as solidifying as maintaining employment based off politics. And so in this city, while the minimum wage increases, status and abilities to go out and get money and jobs that really pay good money, even to women, sometimes I used to call them man jobs, are filled with even more politics. And sometimes it goes back to the Biggie song, more money, more problems. And so with greater opportunities come greater politics, and whatever you are dealing with actually becomes magnified. And that's in every way, in every dimension. What is my current perception of relationships versus prior to when I came here? Prior to coming here, I felt like I needed a relationship. I thrived off relationships, maybe like a relationship junkie in a way. And I think I'm thankful that I wasn't the type of person to go straight in and out of relationships. I would try to give my time a grace period in between. But as far as here is in the city, as far as any long-term anything, I haven't maintained it. And so it's encapsulated or really brought to the table a different dimension and level of myself. It's brought me more to myself, connected me more to myself, made me more independent, more self-sufficient. And in that regard, I feel that that's been a positive shift. Before, I'm gonna add this too, I felt like I needed a relationship. Now I know all I need is me. Okay, what did I achieve in New York? Well, all of the aforementioned. A lot of my achievements have not been tangible for the fact that the system in and with of itself is not designed that way. It is designed to consume you, to possess all of your time and your energy, and for you to lose yourself in it. It is banking on the fact that you've never known anything more or better you've never really achieved anything, and that you'll believe in this ideology and this false perception of reality, that it feeds you and become a junkie or some type of addict, alcoholic. This is the perpetuation of Black life if you are poor in New York City. So much degradation from the world that it's only a matter of time before you begin to degrade and demean your own self and destroy yourself as well. Okay, now what message do I feel I received from the city as an outsider, especially as a Black woman, a poor person? Let's be real. The message has been clear that my kind is not welcomed here. That if I didn't come here already established with wealth, there's nothing for me here or my ilk. That this being a sanctuary city and a place that you have a right to shelter. In those shelters, I was told that doesn't mean you have a right to housing. The whole concept is a scam and a way to further redline certain individuals. Now, there's a level of it that is legitimate, and that is what it hides behind. But for people like you and me, if you're not broken, damaged, mentally deranged, drug addicted again, we have nothing for you. That is the message that was sent oh so clear. What did I discover about the people in the city? That they are miserable beyond measure, beyond fathomability. If you're not from here, it's certain aspects you'll never see and really get to know until you're here. Some of the most vile and evil individuals I've ever come across in my entire life reside here. And what brings it out of them is the oppression and the suppression, the discrimination, the racism, the segregation. And instead of fighting against it, they turn crabs in a barrel. Another aspect is that people here will tend to think people from the country are sheltered and secluded. I've never met people more sheltered than city people, actually, because a lot of them can only exist here, and that is how the place is structured. Whereas any other type of struggle elsewhere, they will try it, but a lot of New Yorkers you always find come back here. They're trapped. Would I be the same person if I never came to the city? No. I would probably still be very codependent, blind, working from job to job, desperately probably seeking a relationship of some sort or another. At this point in my life, I know exactly what I want and need, the things that I can do without, the things that really matter. My priorities are in order. And so I feel it's for better coming here. Now, in terms of staying here, that's another question. So in closing, the city is filled with lost, restless, and perilous souls, seemingly running from themselves. Those we see falling by the wayside, the homeless, didn't heed the warning when they were younger and vibrant and still had that on their side. Let me read that back. Those we see falling by the wayside, the homeless, didn't heed the warning that nothing here is sustainable. In fact, it's the very opposite of a supposed sanctuary city. This place feeds off of Black minds, souls, and bodies. Count one less.